And we know that men hate their wives. They even hate them in their sleep. Yeah, in their sleep. In their sleep. Y'all know I've talked a lot about sleep, but I got more to say. A man who is selfish in bed, whether it's, involving that or your sleep, that man hates you and you need to get out. What can women do about this? Well, first of all, stop murdering ourselves, okay? Your sleep is important. In fact, not getting sleep is going to take years off of your life and make you super miserable. So I'm not saying that men who snore hate their wives, that men who don't care about taking care of this hate their wives. I'm saying that's actually normal conditioning under patriarchy, that entitlement and that not caring about others. But if you bring it to their attention that they're not taking care of this so they can do better at this and they do nothing, or if you bring it to their attention that you can't sleep because of their sleep apnea or whatever it is and they do nothing, now you have the information that you need to leave. Because it won't get better. A man who does not care about your sleep doesn't care about you. I'm gonna go into a story that I find amazing. Depressing, but amazing. Before, I want to remind people, according to some surveys, snoring is the third leading cause of divorce in the US, behind infidelity and financial issues. Why? Why snoring? Well, because it comes down to this. Snoring is often considered a sign of selfishness when no attempt is made by the snorer to address the issue. Snoring can severely damage relationships by causing resentment by the victim of mental or physical damage that affects the snorer. It's not just the man with sleep apnea that's not sleeping. It's his partner. In fact, it's oftentimes worse for the partner. But let's go into the story first before I get back to some facts, because I love this story. Wouldn't we all be so lucky to sleep like you? No. What I love about this story is the woman's response to this man, but the story itself is a little depressing in the beginning. But I mean, come on. That's all part of it. The truth will set you free, but first it'll ruin your day. See, he is prioritizing his sleep. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to watch this. Good night. You're probably going to hate this person right out of the gate, just from the headline itself. Am I the a-hole for kicking out my pregnant fiance because she screamed in my face when I was sleeping? See, right now, yeah, I do. Because I'm always going to assume that the pregnant woman had a reason to scream at you. I always give women the benefit of the doubt over men at this point. When we don't, we die. So here we go. My fiance and I have been together for 6 years, and she is currently... How long have y'all been engaged? Red flag number 1. Been engaged for like 4. Now, unless the long engagement, by the way, is her idea, a lot of women, myself included, never wanted to get married. So if it's her, then okay. But if this 6 years and this is probably him, so this means a shut up ring. Red flag. Oh, I guess I'll marry her because I can't get anyone better. Ball and chain who will work endlessly for free and make me glow up. Give me everything. Anyway, my fiance and I have been together only currently 5.5 months pregnant with our daughter. Probably hate you because you're having a daughter too. We've watched these gender reveal parties, which I can't stand in general, but we know how y'all react to having daughters. Ugh! Oh, I got a daughter. Another non-human in my house who will adore me and I will do nothing for. Anyway, 4 weeks ago I was promoted, and this meant a complete job shift. You're gonna work a job, one shift? I'm guessing you mean a shift in your job situation. But anyway, like, what are you working, part-time? Sorry, okay. I'm doing a lot heavier physical labor now, and due to this, my sleeping patterns have been royally forked up. Royally forked up. Okay, dramatic much? Little drama queen? Sorry, but I just hate this person already by the headline. I've started tossing and turning in my sleep. Talking, snoring, groping. Oh, here we go. Groping her and being completely unaware of it. See, after I read this story, I'm going to show you some of the stuff around this. sleep violence. Let's just get through this. Let's just say he is completely unaware of it, because that does happen. Although don't ever let you think that they don't remember doing that stuff to you in your sleep. Most of the time they do. Let's say he actually doesn't. You know, I told you I wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt. But just for a second. And just being all around restless. What does that mean? Restless? Restless for a giant body in your bed is terrifying. If you're a woman and he's like way bigger than you especially. Anyway, I understand this is a me issue. Well, look at you taking accountability. And that I need to find a way to correct it, but haven't found alternatives so far. First question, have you gone to the doctor? My guess is no. And if you did go to the doctor, she probably made the appointment. And won't even make their own appointments. Anyway, sleeping pill. That's your solution? Just if you're new here, I read through this super fast because I want to like discover with y'all. Don't remember this part. Sleeping pills helps with the snoring and the groping. Like it's just like the groping. Every woman who's had this happen to you, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. More on that after we get through this. And I still flail around, apparently. According to someone, I still flail around. And it leaves me groggy the next day. I wonder if your pregnant fiance is groggy too. It's all about you. Poor guy, he's groggy at work. Oh, why don't you try carrying a child while feeling that way? Leading to an unsafe work environment, like you care. Like you care. You probably don't care about the safety of it. You probably just don't want to get fired or, getting sued or something for endangering. So I tend to not take them unless I don't work the next day. Okay, so pretty sure sleeping pills was his solution. Laziest solution ever. That required going down a different aisle at CVS while you're getting your tobacco and alcohol and other things that you don't need. You're probably contributing to this because I bet you money this dude drinks. That is what's behind so much of this. He's probably drinking before bed. Anyway, but yeah, it's going down a different aisle, picking up a bottle, putting it in the basket, and then carrying it home and going, yep. Wow, you really worked hard on this problem that is making your life terrible, and even more so the person who has to share a bed with you. I know it sounds like I'm reading way too much into this, but seriously, if that was his only solution, he's a lazy, entitled, self-hating little prick. And his wife, I'm sorry, not wife, no, fiance, lucky she gets to be called that, is pregnant, I promise you, she's suffering more than this man. From all this, she needs more sleep than him. She's sleeping for two. She's literally making a human who's a little vampire sucking everything out of her bones. Her hair's falling out. She may actually die bringing this child into the world when it's ready to come out. But no, you groggy at work. I'm so sorry. Fuck you. Well, several times I have woken up to my fiance sleeping on the couch. You should be sleeping on the couch. Can you imagine? You're a provider and protector, are you, huh? Provider of stress and sleep problems. Protector of nothing but your fragile little ego. And her being over the top pissed at me because she's forking sick of me causing her sleepless nights. This guy wants to be a victim so bad. We're supposed to feel sorry for him that his fiance's mad at him. I have slept on the couch a few times. Oh, cool. A few times. That means 3. A few usually means 3. Where several times she slept on the couch. Pregnant. The wife should not be on the couch when it's his sleeping problem, but not wife. Fiance. But a pregnant one? Audacious. Okay. I have slept on the couch a few times and try and give her space, but I can't. I try and give her space, but I can't do that too often because the couch is extremely hard on the back and it leaves me in physical pain. It definitely isn't doing that to a pregnant woman. She's definitely not in physical pain either. Oh my God, please tell me this. This man should not be a father. He can't even take care of an adult woman in any way whatsoever. This man will probably, do not leave him alone with the child. This level of selfishness should never be apparent. This is the kind of guy who's like, why should I feed my child? Because I need to eat. So mix that with the manual labor I work and it fucking sucks. I swear to God. The fact that he thinks that his big tough big boy manual labor job is somehow harder than making a baby. Men do not understand how much manual labor women do regularly, in addition to emotional labor, domestic labor, mental load. Forking idiots like this, we do so much manual labor. Domestic labor is manual labor. But just because we're not working with the big old pipe or whatever, they think that we don't do manual labor. As if breastfeeding isn't manual labor. Have you seen an aggressive baby do breastfeed? I mean, just any baby. But one, God, I cannot imagine how physically painful all this stuff is. Just mothering. God, okay. I could do a whole video on this alone. Anyway, men with manual labor jobs drive me crazy. They think they're so tough, and they're some of the weakest men I have ever met. And I am someone who literally all my jobs until I became a writer and comedian, storyteller, and all this stuff was manual labor. I have done nothing but manual labor jobs my entire life until I was able to pay my bills from just writing and this stuff. Literally until I was in my 40s. But he's a big boy who drives a tractor or some crap. I'm not diminishing men who have to do these hard jobs. Some of the things that these men are required to do is unbelievably difficult on their bodies and unfair. But that's a capitalism problem. I have so much sympathy for what they are asked to do. But they think that we don't do any manual labor, that all of our labor is not as valuable as their big boy labor. And so they hide behind these jobs. As if that's literally the only thing they're supposed to do. Anything beyond that is not fair. It's not fair. That is what I have a problem with. Well, last night I apparently kept elbowing her in my sleep. Love how he throws apparently in there according to her. We have a king-size bed, but I guess I kept rolling over to her side and elbowing her in the process. I did wake up once to her physically pushing me, so I moved back to my side, but fell back into a deep sleep almost immediately. Wow, how nice. How nice that you can just go right back to sleep after assaulting her with your elbow. This man could literally unalive their unborn child. An elbow in not to mention any of her body parts, but come on. It's whatever, I was just elbowing her, woke up and went right back to sleep, deep sleep. Well, I'm so glad that you sleep like a baby. King Baby's the only one sleeping in this house. She's not immediately going back to sleep, I promise you that. That is until I woke up to her screaming in my face, saying, stop elbowing me in the forking face. It's the face. He's not just elbowing her, he's elbowing her in the face. And calling me a forking prick. Her screaming in my face like that immediately triggered something in me. And I told her, get out, get the fork out. Okay, I hate you. You don't deserve this woman. I hope she never talks to you again. I could end it there, but I'm not, because I'm sure it's so much worse. As soon as she left, I felt terrible. Oh, poor you. You feel bad. He doesn't even care how she feels. He feels bad now. I assumed she was just out in the car. And oh God. See, this is what men are facing right now. They really think they're the prize. Don't ever let a man think he's the prize. This is why I'm so worried about Simone Biles' husband, because he literally stated that out loud in front of her. I'm the prize. And men who think they're the prize think you will never leave them, no matter what they do. Because you should feel honored to be in the same house with them, to be in their life, even though they contribute nothing to yours except additional unpaid work and trauma. And so men like this is why they are, blindsided and they get served divorce papers. Behind all this is entitlement. And under patriarchy, men are taught to be entitled. And entitlement makes them super selfish. And that selfishness makes them terrible partners. So when you're vetting, if you are even dating men, this is the number one thing to look for: entitlement. Because the entitlement is the foundation of grape culture, of violence against women, all this, weaponized incompetence, making a pregnant woman sleep on the couch, not treating your own sleep disorder because she should just have to put up with your laziness, because their entitlement leads to laziness and just learned helplessness or whatever. I don't know if that's it. Just, I don't know, whatever. You deal with it. Men who will not heal, it's always the women in their lives that pay for that. So, of course, he thinks that by telling her, literally kicking his pregnant fiance out of the house, he just assumes, he told her, get the fork out, expecting her to wait in the car for the king baby to be like, okay, you can come back in now. So he's like, yeah, of course she's in the car. Even though I told her to leave, of course she's not going to leave because, again, I'm the prize. Why would she ever leave me? This kind of thinking in men is what's behind them eventually, ruining your life, unaliving you outright, or slowly through your nervous system and sleep deprivation. They can unalive you without laying a hand on you. I would love to finally see a statistic on how many women die from illnesses because of stuff like this. But it wasn't an abusive relationship. She just got sick. So I assumed she was in the car while I sat and waited for her to return. Get out! And then he waits for her to return. She's just following orders, bruh. I fell asleep. Wow! Again, that was easy. He was so not worried about his pregnant fiance that he just fell asleep. Just sitting out in the car, and he's just like, sleep like a little baby. No remorse, no guilt, no concern, nothing. This man hates her. And I think this is where she realized it. Woke up to my alarm at 6:30 a.m. and found her still gone. What? I texted her and got no response. Spent the entire day at work texting and calling, and she ignored me. How dare her? I'm the sun. She's a planet who orbits around me. Her and that stupid little baby girl who's going to come into my life too. Well, in a panic, I started blowing up her phone 30 minutes ago. Calls right back to back, texting her, asking her, please meet me back at the house so we can talk about this. Okay, just so you know, literally everything this man is doing is classic signs of an abuser. He may not have hit her yet while he was awake, but he's already doing it in his sleep, and sleep deprivation, whether it's intentional or just by not caring that she can't sleep because of him. And this right here, besides literally kicking her out, that's another one. That is a sign. They throw your stuff, throwing stuff out the window, kicking you out, get out, as if she, I am sure this woman worked. I seriously doubt that she is a stay-at-home girlfriend. Fiance. There is no way, given that, he's working a manual labor job, there's no way she's not also bringing in income. And he kicks her out of their house. What gives him the right to kick her out? Maybe she's not working right now. I promise you, this woman worked. There's no way she didn't. And yet he had the audacity to kick her out pregnant of her house. The only thing that would make this more classic, is if she was working and he was unemployed. Because that's what happens a lot too. And then he blows up her phone. Everything I'm reading here, other than I wasn't pregnant, blah, 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 this all lines up exactly with my ex. Anytime a man is blowing up your phone, that is entitlement. That is not some cinematic like, oh, he wants you back. There's a scene where he's in the rain and he's remorseful. No, this is about entitlement. Talk to me. Talk to me. Owe me a conversation. That's what's behind this. It's not remorse or wanting to repair. It is entitlement and afraid he's going to lose access to her. That's it. Okay, so he won't leave her alone, texting her constantly, asking her, please meet me in my house. To talk. Seriously, and by talking, he means like either gaslighting her, like doing some Darvo stuff, or begging her because he realizes he's about to lose access and he's scared. She just texted me back and said, not a chance in forking hell, actually. Go fork yourself. Ah! Toot toot! This, y'all, this gives me hope. This gives me hope. Y'all, do you understand that women have not been doing this a long time? Well, our grandmas couldn't. Our grandmas were hostages. Grandpa is like, good luck with that. I ain't giving you a divorce. You don't have any access to money anyway because you don't have a credit card and you can't have a bank account. But this right here, this gives me hope. I mean, I hate this dude. Like, I've been accepting that most men are doing this. Well, most men are on the suck spectrum, right? If they're unwilling to unpack their entitlement under patriarchy and really work on themselves and their trauma and like learn the things that they need to do to show up as a good partner. So all this, I'm at the point of accepting this. And a lot of women are. But this is what gives me hope because women are in that next phase of, I've accepted that you're not going to change and I've accepted that I can't change you. So instead, I'm cutting off access. I'm going my own way. You have lost your chance. Boom! Good luck, buddy. You're gonna die alone, not me. This is what's happening right now, and I love it. The story is tragic, but this gives me hope. She's gonna be okay. She probably has friends, maybe family, and if she doesn't, she knows how to make friends. I mean, it's hard to make friends regardless. Okay, I talk about this all the time, but women have been socialized to create that social fabric. So when stuff like this happens, if we get out before it's too late, before they have isolated us, we oftentimes, not always, sometimes women have no support system, oftentimes because of these men. But if you work on your community and your friendships and focus on that and decenter men and marriage and romantic love and really build your community, if and when this happens to you, you can do this. This is why I talk about like to stop worrying about dating. I accidentally did this experiment myself. Didn't date at all. Didn't date at all. Started at 36. Immediately got into an abusive relationship. But because I had worked really hard on my community and good friendship, I had the resources that I needed from the family that I had built to help me get out. So please stop worrying about dating. Stop. Because dating without a team, it's a team sport. You have no team members no one on your team, no friends, no community, not being a part of other things. If you get stuck in this, you have no help and you may stay stuck. But she's able to do this, most likely because she has somewhere to go. Where's she sleeping? Where did she sleep last night? Either she's got family members that are supportive to her or she's got friends. If you don't have that, you have no business dating because a man like this wants you to have nowhere else to go. That you can't send that fork you, not a chance in hell, go fork yourself text. You can't send that if you don't have community. Center community and friendships. That is what taught me how to date. And even when my first time trying, I got into a life-threatening situation, they helped me get out. And then I went back to focusing on community, learning how to not be codependent in lower stakes relationships, all the things. So then when I finally got back out in the dating world, I understood the stakes on a level I never had before. I never ignored these red flags. Well, not never. I still made some mistakes, how I ended up a breadcrumb guy. But please, if you take nothing from my page, it's this. It's too high stakes to date men if you don't have strong, healthy community. Not a community of pick-me's. We're all going to center men and turn their back on you when and if you get in this situation. I mean people who are really, truly want what's best for you, who show up for you as much as you show up for them, and who are not going to side with this loser. My buddy said that she's overreacting. Oh, That shocks no one. But you want to bet his buddy sucks as much as him. Because she's pregnant. But I can't help but feel guilty. Am I the a-hole? Oh, look at that. His buddy's like, oh, she's pregnant. Just hormones. She's just overreacting. You know, women be like that. I'm sorry. I tend to throw on my southern accent and make fun of my people when any man does that. Okay, maybe I should stop doing that. That's the people I grew up around, so I can't help it. This reminds me of a lot of them. Although men with any language, any accent do this. And here's the update, because I was a little worried he would have talked her back into it. Update. I did apologize. Yeah, I bet your apologies suck. She said it wasn't good enough. Yes! Because her reaction was more justified than mine. Apparently, I elbowed her in the face 5 times over a 2-hour span and pushed her off the bed. I'm surprised that didn't cause a miscarriage. I don't know much about that stuff. But if she had landed on her belly, oh God. And she was done with it because she woke me up. Why is that in quotes? Several times. See, he still doesn't care. Still doesn't believe her. He's literally Darvoing here. Oh, she woke me up. Yeah, right. Because I don't remember it. And I just kept doing it. Oh, God. What a terrible night. 2 separate beds isn't an option currently due to lack of space. But she said she won't be coming back anytime soon, if ever. Yes, because she's been sleeping at most 2 hours a night due to my issues, and she's tired of dealing with it. Remember that stat? That snoring causes divorces? I mean, this is way beyond snoring, but it's this right here. It's not that he has issues. It's that he's doing jack to deal with them, even though it literally is causing violence. Now that I'm done with him, I want to show you why this topic is so important. Sleep. I mean, in general, women resting is a revolutionary act, because if you know what most women do, I mean, I see it with the women older than me, even in their retirement, they never stop. And if they never stop pouring into other people, working. I mean, I've seen some great exceptions to this, and they give me hope and inspire me. But a lot of women, a lot of boomers just waiting for their husbands to die. I wrote about in my Harper's Bazaar piece, when men have no friends and women bear the burden. Literally waiting for their husbands to die so they can stop working. Because even when they're not working, these men are causing nothing but work. And then in their spare time of not taking care of the king baby who won't even make his own sandwich, they're volunteering. They're volunteering at church, at this organization, at that. They can't just not, or they're taking care of grandkids or whatever. Although apparently a lot of boomers are not, and that's a whole nother conversation. But a lot of women don't know how to not work in terms of not serving people. So rest and relaxing, especially in a way that doesn't involve spending money, just literally getting enough sleep and taking a break, not doing something so that it makes you look better. Because a lot of us will take care of ourselves in order to look better, rather than it literally just being about taking care of ourselves. This stuff is revolutionary. That in itself, if you're very new to this work, that is a great place to start. Prioritizing your sleep, centering your sleep, centering your rest. I mean, I know most people are working way too hard, barely get any, but not prioritizing his sleep over your own. And I've told y'all, my husband has a sleep apnea. I have narcolepsy. We got 2 sleep disorders in this marriage. And it got worse a couple years ago, but I didn't realize it until it started waking me up. And as soon as I realized that his sleep disorder is causing me pain now, it's affecting me, it hit me. I'm like, why do I have to deal with this? He should deal with it. And he did. And now he has that little machine and he sleeps like a baby. And it's so peaceful now. We both benefit from him taking care of himself. And he realized that it was not only affecting him, it was affecting me. And the man who genuinely cares about you should care if his stuff is affecting your sleep. And even if it has nothing to do with him, he should be concerned if you're not getting sleep, especially if you're pregnant. So let me remind you of some stuff. And then I'm going to show you some new stuff I've found. Men sleep better beside a partner. Women sleep worse. So this has been backed by so many studies. This is another reason why women are thriving when they're single. Unless they're with a partner who is truly making their lives better and easier, He's the one benefiting in every possible way, even when he's unconscious. You're the battery, and he's just charged next to you, sucking all your energy. See? Cuddling has a positive impact on men's health, but not women's. When it comes to sleeping with a man, these articles are like, hey guys, you want to sleep better? Hug your lady. Doesn't matter how it affects her. You need sleep. A third of American couples claim they actually prefer sleeping alone. I've already done plenty of videos about the impacts of snoring on the partner they're with. I'm going to recap a couple things before I go into sleep violence. Just the snoring alone, not the elbowing in the face or pushing you off the bed. Just the snoring alone. You can be losing at least 2 hours of sleep a night. So even if you're getting technically 7 or 8 hours of sleep, you're actually only getting 5 or 6 if you just have a snoring partner. Studies have shown that people with sleep apnea, it says that the people who don't even have the breathing problem, right? Like sleep apnea, for instance, their partners wake up almost as much as they do. When a sleep apnea sufferer woke up an average of 26 times an hour, their partner actually woke up an average of 21 times, which reduces the quality of life for the person just being in the room with the person with the sleep disorder. And yet, I saw so many articles like this. Women sleeping on the couch because their husband's snoring. Even though they say because of his selfishness. We are literally the sacrificial lamb. This is so appropriate. I did not do this on purpose. Good for you, Melanie. Oh my God, I just talked to myself in third person. We are literally just groomed to be sacrificial lambs to these men. To everyone. The kids. Just take one for the team. The team never takes one. The team basically being him. This particular lady said the neighbors could hear him snoring in the summer when the windows are open. Imagine it being that bad that you're waking up your neighbors and you still won't do anything about it. Aren't you embarrassed, brah? No, you don't care. And you're not empathetic, but isn't your fragile little ego ashamed? Like, shameless. This woman said, I miss sleeping with my husband, but even more than that, I miss feeling like he cares. Maybe he never did. And this was what finally made you realize it. I'm telling you, I think this right here is why snoring causes divorce, because it's so painfully clear that this person doesn't care. The studies show that women's sleep is more fragmented when they're sharing a bed when they slept on their own. This is what annoys me. I think this one was in the New York Times. I have to go back and check, but look at the way the researchers speculate that women's fretful sleep might be caused by brain wiring differences between men and women. Women tend to be lighter sleepers because they historically have been the ones caring for infants. Sure, but it's because women have been SA'd so many times. That's why. Maybe a little bit of it is about the baby. I'll give them some of that. Most of my, and I have many, from childhood through adulthood, most of my schmegdual trauma was when I was vulnerable, just trying to sleep. And that's just schmegdual trauma. You couple that with sharing a bed with a man who kind of hates you or hates you a lot, has an anger issue, you might be a little worried even in your sleep. This psychologist said she's not surprised that men sleep better when next to women. Studies have shown that men are very dependent on close relationships. That's why they can't be alone. They don't know how to have close relationships with men. So that's why they date and date and date and date. They avoid commitment, but they date and date, and they need women in their life. They need women to do that emotional labor, to take all of this stuff. They won't talk about it with men. They need someone taking care of them. They need women. They need women. That's why they're having their little temper tantrums that women are like, okay, bye. That's why he was like, what? I thought she was in the car. What am I going to do now? He needs her more than she needed him. She's pregnant. 5.5 months pregnant. And this man still needs her more than she needs him. Like, seriously. Contrary to popular stereotypes, it is actually men who need close relationships most, because they don't take care of themselves. They won't take care of themselves. They won't go get help. And so women are the only reason why these men are even surviving, which again is why Grandpa didn't die right after Grandma because he loved her so much. It's because he's too lazy to take care of himself. Or that's why he married someone immediately and brought her to Grandma's funeral. In general, men show much clearer benefits from committed relationships. Married men are much happier and healthier than unmarried men. And this gets worse as they get older. That's why they want hospice wives. Thank you, Candace Kelly, for that phrase. The New York Times did this. Why do women have more sleep issues than men? They blamed it on baby stuff. They said patterns of hypervigilance and responsiveness. They tied all that to baby. Hello? It take you a little bit extra leap to the hypervigilance being about our safety and having always being worried about men, but especially the men in our homes. They're always the most dangerous people in our lives are the men in our home. That's how it's been. That's what it is. So yeah, we're a little on edge when there's one not only in our house, but in our bed, unless we feel safe. But yeah, okay, it's all about the baby, us being moms. Even child-free women like me, it's all because of a theoretical baby. That's why I have sleep problems. Okay. Then you add menopause or perimenopause, which I am in the thick of right now. This is absolutely making my sleep worse, so I'm having to treat that. And then on top of this man is making this woman sleep on the couch, complaining about his sleep. He's a big boy, works a hard job. When this is what she's going through because she's pregnant. Symptoms during pregnancy such as nausea, frequency having to pee all the time because the baby's just pushing, kicking that little bladder. All this can trigger sleep disturbances. And then on top of that, that woman had a man elbowing her in the face, snoring, pushing her out of bed, and making her sleep on the couch because he wouldn't do anything about it. What is sleep violence? That's what's happening in this particular case. I've already done plenty of videos about sleep apnea and men's sleep disorder and how they get their the physical, like their throats, and why they all snore so much. I mean, not all men, okay? But a lot of them, and it happens more with age. I already did a video on that. But what causes sleep violence, which is way worse than just snoring? Because this violence is a health and safety risk, not just to that person, but even more so to whatever poor soul is sharing that bed with them. Some of the things that cause it: stress and psychological conditions. Can you think of any population that doesn't do well under this? Alcohol and drug use, especially within a few hours of bed. I would love to know how many men do this before bed. Men complain about their sleep all the time, and yet this right here, just having to have those beer before bed, is causing their health problem and their sleep problem and the sleep problems of their partners. But they don't care, they go have that beer. That and watching corn right before bed. So what women need to understand, this is the whole point of this video, the way a man treats you in his sleep is very important. Because if he's doing crazy stuff in his sleep, that man has some problems and he needs to deal with it. Maybe he has PTSD. Maybe he's a war vet. You know how many women in my comment section, the last time I talked about this, had horrifying stories of their war vet husband scaring the crap out of them, almost unaliving them in their sleep. This is serious stuff. But most men have not been to war. Men are at war with themselves. They hate themselves. They won't deal with their stuff. So they use escapism, whether it's alcohol, drugs, corn, or gotta climb Mount Everest, or run that marathon, or go hunting every weekend, play my game, whatever it is. They're not dealing with their stuff. And then they have bad sleep. And in their sleep, they don't have the usual self-restraint and have zero emotional regulation if they are good at that at all. Again, men can emotionally regulate. They do it out in the world all the time. They do it at work. They just refuse to make that effort at home. So when they're sleeping, they're definitely not going to watch what they do because they're not even there. So any underlying issues this man that you are attached to has can come out in his sleep. The sleeping mind is an active mind. It's not an off switch. Sometimes it's worse because the only thing that's turned off is their empathy and their, being conscious. But if they got a lot of problems, those problems are still there in their sleep. You just have less control over them now. The brain and body are very active through every stage of sleep. That's when they're processing memory, emotions, and recent learning. So if this man is not processing his feelings and, his past in his conscious mind, this is when he's doing it. This is when all that trauma or whatever he's been starts being worked out. And you are the poor soul next to him, completely vulnerable because you're not awake. Sleep isn't a void of consciousness, but rather it involves a different form of consciousness. There's all kinds of categories of this: confusional arousal, sleep terror, this one, hence the groping that man just totally minimalized. I have been assaulted so many times in my sleep by men. Conscious men who liked that I was asleep, and even unconsciously. I shared a bed with one of my friends on a ski trip, and in the middle of the night, he would not get off of me. I literally slept on the floor. Couldn't wake him up. He was out. Wasn't pretending. Next morning, he didn't understand I was being so weird. I told him, and he was horrified. And we were in a room with a bunch of our friends. We were all over the floors and bed. Sleeping next to a man is one of the most dangerous things you can do. That's why I wrote that article, this one, for Glamour magazine. I'll hook up with you, but you're not sleeping over. I don't want you to unalive me in my sleep. I'm actually really proud of this article. I wrote it like years ago. I had no idea how smart this was. I realized that they should, like, even if I have a great date with a guy and we hook up, okay, bye. I don't need your cuddle because I don't trust men in their sleep. Not anymore, unless I know them well. And again, a lot of this is triggered by them drinking and before bed. And yet women are the ones struggling most with sleep. It's actual or perceived threat trigger a lot of our insomnia, but that's a whole nother video. A man who will let you sleep peacefully doesn't love you.